Hello and welcome to the Lore Boys. My name is James Miller. Who else is here today?
Hi, I'm Ethan. Nice to be here.
And Peter to D6.
Nice.
Peter to D6. What does that mean?
Is this battleship or chess? What's the difference?
So this episode
What's the
has
difference?
I've been teasing it for a while. It was requested by Heavy Metal Analyst. Back in 2022, they made a post, said that they've been waiting for the chess episode that I said I would do for a while now in 2022. And we are now 2026, and I
That
finally
was
gotten
kind of
around.
your. I feel like that was your. You said you've been consuming just before we started recording. You said you've been consuming chess media for a little while now.
Yeah.
But I feel like that was really your arc. Your chess arc was like in 2022,
Yeah,
about
recently
4 years ago.
I've been getting back into it. There was a chess boom between 2020 and 2022 because of COVID and a few other factors, which we'll get into today. But I also used to play with my brother when I was young. Back whenever I lived in Swamp House, we had one heated room all winter, and there was a chessboard in the center of it. So if you wanted to stay warm in the winter, you would huddle into that room and we would play chess together. Which is
This
always
is
quite
new
fun.
Swamp House facts. This is new Swamp House lore that I'm learning live on the show. The heat didn't work.
Well, we couldn't
It
All of
afford
worked,
the other
just in one
problems,
room.
except in the one room.
we couldn't afford it. It was a very big drafty house, so we just opted to leave it off. And
Oh.
we would tape blankets up in the doorways and things like that. I would wear my winter jacket to make eggs in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Men
that
will
was
find a way. It's incredible. It's no matter what.
Yeah.
This reminds me of when the hurricane destroys Ned Flanders' house, where it's just like, and Apu is giving him chunk of the tour, and it's just like, well, this room has no electricity, and this room has too much. Where it's like, this room has no heat, and the chess room has too much.
Too
There's like
much heat,
35
yeah.
degrees in the chess room. You're like
Yeah.
sweating.
This is like 20 years ago at this point. This is when I was living in squalor in college.
Yeah.
Not 20 years ago, but like 15 years ago, I guess.
Feels
But
like.
still, yeah,
Mhm.
just about. It was a long, long time ago. So this episode, it's been a long time coming. I don't think we have any new patrons because we just recorded yesterday. But boys, what is your backgrounds in chess? What do you know about it? What do you like about it? What have you done? What have you seen? Tell me about it.
En passant,
Oh, very good.
obviously.
That's a move. Do you know why that move was created?
No,
En
I know what the
passant.
move is.
En
I know the
passant
history.
is because whenever a long time ago, like one of the opening moves for chess is you can move your pawn 2 squares instead of 1 to speed up the game. They made a rule change at a certain point. But if you just move the 1, or if there's something with if you would have just moved 1, they made en passant to I don't actually remember the rule of it.
So it's like if you have your pawn, let's say on the third rank, like, or sorry, let's say you're attacking. So you have your pawn on the 5th rank, so you're just ahead of their line of pawns.
Yeah.
And they have their pawn here, and they want to come out. Normally they would have to move like 1 and put their pawn in danger. But if
Yes.
they do the opening move, they would just jump 2 and go beside you and avoid the danger by waiting to move their pawn 2 squares.
Then they can take.
So the en passant rule lets you, even if they move 2, you can capture by moving behind them, basically. So you don't actually
Okay.
move into their square, but it's because to move to where they would have had to move through that square, and that's the only
Okay.
piece, the only time that applies, basically.
That was birthed from the rule change to speed up the game. That's the part that I remember.
Okay.
But yeah.
Damn it.
And Pete, have you played? Do you like to play?
I've always found chess fascinating. I do own Shotgun King, The Final Checkmate, which is a game where you play as just the king of a chess piece, of a chessboard, and you have a shotgun. It changes the rules up a little. And otherwise, I do believe I've lost every single time I tried to play chess on Windows Vista, because I've just never really committed the time to learning it. So I'm not particularly. I mean, I'm not good, and I haven't played much, but it does look fun and relaxing. It fascinates me. So I've been looking forward to this too. I was telling you before we started recording, like Jamie's chess episode is like my Vampire Hunter D. Now I know how Saucy feels. And that is the last time I will ever show empathy for any of our listeners. But it just
Least of all, Saucy. No, I really enjoy. I mean, I'd say got into chess. I never really got into chess, but watched the Queen's Gambit or whatever, and had a bit of a flirtation with it. And then before my dad passed, I got a chessboard and I would play with him only.
Nice.
But I would just wipe him every game basically. So it was never it was never the most stimulating. And he started to get frustrated at the end. He's like, I'm not playing with you anymore, basically. Um, not that I'm good, just that my dad had never played chess in his whole life
Right.
either. Um, and I think I've told this story before, but when I was a kid growing up, we had like chess 2000. Like we had some chess game where you could face different CPU opponents, right? Where it's like the 2000 ELO opponent was
Yep.
the grandmaster or whatever, and then you had like 1900, 1800. There's 20 levels basically of chess difficulty, and the level 01 was the chimp, and that was the only CPU that I ever beat was the chimp. I couldn't beat the 4-year-old girl. I don't remember what her name was, but I do remember her face. The little pigtails. I couldn't beat her at chess.
Well,
I could
Ethan,
beat
you
the
have a
chimp,
daughter about
and
to
not
be
every time.
you have a daughter about to be 4 pretty soon. Maybe you can get your revenge, you know?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Could be like one of those like dance moms things, just like weirdly abusive, just like trying to teach her how to play chess just so you can beat her.
I haven't played a ton of chess. I do really enjoy chess puzzles, though.
Yeah.
I think it's a great one of the most digestible form of quick puzzle is a chess puzzle. So
Yeah.
those are very fun.
Yeah, those are great. And I'm glad you mentioned the computer the computer that you had to face up against, because I'm going to cover the history of chess, the role of computers within chess, because there's a lot there. And as well as some chess scandals, because there's been some juicy drama over the years that we'll finish the episode with.
I love stuff like that. I remember there was some like during Bill Gates's divorce. There was some stuff that obviously comes out in Discovery, and one of my favorite like just boring ass scandals was the fact that he had used a certain financier to come in contact with like a female chess master he was like infatuated with, and started having an affair with an adult chess master, for the record, which was like part of the reason that he was getting divorced, is because it's just like you used your friends to cheat on me with a chess master you were fascinated with, or like backgammon or some shit like that. But it's just
Yeah.
like I love a chess scandal just because it seems so like dorky and mundane, I guess.
I mean,
I'm not sure.
the Hans Neumann one was like the one that really blew up in 2022, right?
That will be our grand finale today. We'll get into the
Wait,
Are we
Hans
talking about
Zimmer
the
one.
arm? The Deep Blue?
No, this one caused quite the buzz, Peter. You just wait to hear about
Okay,
this.
okay.
Good. Ethan's aware. Great. Yeah, my background in chess is like I'm awful at it, but I love playing it. I played, like I said, back in Swamp House. I played with my brother. When my dad handed me down his old BlackBerry, I used to play chess on the BlackBerry.
Oh, cool.
Then I played on chess.com. Around the COVID times, I got back into it. And just recently now, I've been playing a little bit on chess.com again. But I'm awful at it, but I love watching it. And I'll watch games at the highest level and people do analysis of it. Because if they explain it to me, I can kind of see the ideas. Although I would never catch it if I just watched the plays happen. You know what I mean?
Like there's sometimes I'll watch like analysis. Like I saw you posted a picture of Levy.
Yeah, Gotham Chess. Yeah.
Gotham Chess, yeah. And I'm like, even him sometimes I'll pause his videos sometimes and be like, because he'll be like, oh, like this thing, and he'll clearly go off on something. I'll pause it, try and see it. It's like, no, I can't see it until he shows
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean?
But I wish I did have that vision. It's like one of those things you just have to work so hard.
Practice.
And a lot of the
Practice,
game
yeah.
is knowing positions and knowing how things develop and memorization. And that's why a lot of there's kind of a couple schools of thought right now, like are the biggest player in the world, Magnus Carlsen, the #1 player who's been reigning at the top for a while now. He has such good intuition, especially in the end game. But he's being challenged now by some younger Indian players who have just memorized every position ever and have just done 10 times the studying, even at their young age. So and then there's computers who can just beat everyone at this point. But we'll get into
computers always win.
Yeah.
I mean, since the 90s, right? Computers always win when they beat Kasparov.
Yeah.
We'll talk
but,
about
I
it.
mean,
Come on, what are we talking?
Yeah.
India's no slouch. They have like over 1 billion people. Think of how much autism is there. They got hella trains, and obviously they're memorizing chess positions.
Yep. So let's dive into the deep history of chess. Humble beginnings, an estimated 1,500 years ago in India.
Oh, I was hoping you would ask us to guess, because I was trying to think. Because you spoilered the images. I'm like, I hope some one of these is like an old ass chess set that they dug out of like a cave somewhere. But my guess for everything ancient is always the Middle East or China.
Okay.
I always make the leap. I always forget that India has also been around for like fucking 12,000 years.
China was not
Mhm.
too far behind. They did pick up on it, but rather than playing their pieces in the middle of the squares, they played at the intersection of the squares where the crosses are between the black and the
Okay.
white. And I
Interesting.
didn't make you get, honestly, Pete, I thought you would have already looked at them before. Usually when I spoiler the images, you kind of take a quick little peek.
It's 2020. I'm a new man. I'm trying better. I went 18 days without drinking and then fucked up. I'm 19 days without looking at spoiler images, Jamie. So far,
All
Dry
right.
January is going fucking great.
I won't assume next time. I won't assume. Yeah.
So it's so the I had to look it up because you said they played on the intersections, and I was pretty sure that Go is played on the intersections, which is a Chinese game
Mhm.
and is older than chess. So
And
that's
is
probably why they played on the intersections.
that's a game that is not solved by computers yet. Go has so many more
It is.
possibilities than.
I think it is now.
Oh, yeah?
I think there's a computer that is like dominating Go now. And like I saw
Interesting.
some guy talking about it. Huge grain of salt because it was some YouTube short that I saw, obviously, so don't take this as gospel. But some guy was basically explaining it as like all the best Go players in the world are like dumbfounded because they basically like the computer invented like an entirely new strategy of like how to play Go that like nobody had ever thought of. And like
Yeah.
seeing the computer do this, a lot of the Go masters are saying like we've been playing on an island like our entire lives, and the computer can just has the world, like it just has the whole world to
Yeah.
access, and we just have this like tiny little island of knowledge. Like the 4,000 years of accumulated Go knowledge is like
Yeah.
nothing compared to what the computer is showing us now.
So
Is
I
this
think
GOH?
just
No, Geo.
Geo. I think what
Really, just Go. Okay.
what I had heard, and again, grain of salt because I probably consume the media in the same ways, is that chess, when a computer looks at it, it's at the point where it can almost calculate from first to at last move at this point because it's so fast. But Go, even although it beats people,
Oh yeah.
it gets so much more exponential that it's not a solved game on the computer level, because we'll get into it. We'll get into it. Yeah.
Yeah. You're right though. I was thinking of it the wrong way.
But no, yeah, they beat it. They beat it. Go is crazy. The amount of possibilities there.
Strategy, yeah.
Yeah. So way back when, this is kind of a folk tale because 1,500 years ago. But one story said that a wise man used chess to teach a lesson to a tyrant king. He grabbed a chessboard and he asked the king to place 1 grain of rice on the first square, and then double it and put it on the next square next to it, and continue until he had covered all the squares of a chessboard. And the king quickly got owned with exponents and realized that
Yeah.
he would never have enough rice to put
Not
the
a price in
entire
the world,
chessboard.
man.
Yeah,
2 to the 64. It's way too much.
exactly. So that was a lesson to be like, look, just one decision as you start to add doubles to it, things can just get way out of hand. And that's
I
And
think
this wise man was executed, and rice was actually banned for 80 years after that.
so I don't remember what it was. Like I heard the story similarly, but it was like a guy like tricking the king basically. Like, hey,
Mm.
I'll do this thing for you, but then you have to give me rice equal to that or whatever.
Okay.
And I think the first time I was exposed to it, I wish I could remember. It was some YouTube sketch, whatever channel, where they basically get to like, it's like doing that, and he's like, and then you see, but when you get to the 4th square, you're gonna have to give me 16 grains of rice, and then the king is like, yeah, I'm not doing that. The guy's just like, what? The king just like, no, I see this is getting way out of hand. I'm the king. I'm not gonna do any of this. You're gonna go to jail now. I think that's the first time I was exposed to that parable.
Yeah. So the first game that led to chess was called Chaturanga, and I provided 2 pictures for you guys. One is of a depiction of a wise man playing with a king playing the game, and then the second being the actual board state. It's 4 people play it on each quarter.
Cool.
Get rid of the knights, bring the elephants back. This is way cooler. I'm putting my foot down on that one. That rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the elephants are sick, and camels. I mean, there's really nothing to complain about looking at this board. Where I guess for anyone not watching the video, it is just a chessboard. The if you're looking at the chessboard from your point of view, you have like the 8 squares on the back 2 rows on the furthest left. basically.
Yeah.
And then there's a gap of 2, and then somebody else is like going up next to you, basically.
Yeah.
So you face in all 4 cardinal directions.
Everybody gets a corner, and it roughly translates Chaturanga to having 4 limbs or parts, which refers to the 4 divisions of the military.
Ambulatory? Oh,
Sorry?
okay.
Ambulatory.
I asked if they were ambulatory. But
That's from last week.
military. Gotcha.
They're from the military, and it's the 4 different units or divisions of the Indian military: the infantry, the cavalry, the elephantry, and the chariotry.
Oh, okay. Dang.
Okay, wait, joining the army
Navy,
suddenly
Air
makes
Force,
sense.
Elephant Force.
Elephant
obviously.
Force.
Yeah.
Joining the military suddenly makes a lot of sense to me, I gotta say.
I'm joining Elephant Force.
Yeah, absolutely.
So these forms would eventually evolve into, so the infantry would become the pawn, the cavalry would become the knight, the elephantry would become the bishop, and the chariotry would become the rook. There's
No king and queen.
It'd be great if the Pope was elected by elephants, honestly, as far as the bishops go. That fucking rocks.
Trumpeting white smoke out of the papal chimney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A new elephant has been chosen.
What makes this like chess is each piece had its own powers. They all moved a little bit differently than they do today. Like the one that represents bishops couldn't go all the way across the board, but it would move diagonally. Elephants could like jump over things. There's a
trample before MTG. That rules.
Yep. Yep. But chess still had a long way to go before it would be how we know it. So it made its way from India to Persia, and it became part of the education of Persian nobles and royalty. And by around the year 600, during the Sassanid Empire, the game was known as Shatrang instead of what it used to be called Chaturanga. So, yeah.
Okay.
They dropped the last day.
Yep.
Like the Silk Road. Can you imagine? I mean, obviously, it's like you don't have the same kind of communication stuff, and like, unfortunately, it probably caused a Black Plague as well. But can you imagine like just being like a noble and getting like the first person to see a chessboard that was like gifted to you by some merchant? That must be so cool. Like, I don't know. It's just like I'm romanticizing it obviously a little bit, but like it's fucking. That's so neat. Like some guy with like bright orange clothes shows up and like gives you a chessboard and teaches you a new game. Like, I don't know.
Dude, it would be
the
so
trade-off
fun.
was a lot more cholera and like smallpox, you know?
Yeah, and also, like I said, probably the Black Plague. Also, like accidentally, like fleas up the Silk Road. But
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I think it's worth it.
it would have been pretty damn cool. Like, you don't have I can't imagine there's a ton of entertainment options back in 600. So to have that would be
No.
pretty cool.
A lot of drinking and sitting and staring, I think.
Yeah.
Like the crazy thing when I think about it is like, and especially because like we live in the north and it's winter now and the sun sets at 4:30, but it's like if you just have candles and like they're expensive, like you don't want to waste your candles, like sun goes down, man, like what do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're just like sitting in the dark, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me, because I don't own a flashlight when the power goes out, I'm like, fuck. I hope a merchant shows up with some chess soon. It wonders me.
So Persia ends up being conquered by the Rashidun Caliphate, which is an Islamic force, and the name shifted to Shatrang. Since the Arabic, Shatranj, they replaced the CH with an SH and the NG with a J because they didn't have ch or ng in Persian.
Okay.
And during this period, the rules keep evolving. Hollow Knight players might like this one because when you put someone in check, you yell out, Shah! Oh, how'd you know?
I didn't know. You just said Hollow Knight players would like this, so I was thinking about what sound it would be. And I was like, Shah sounds like a Persian word, like check, I guess.
Very good. It means king. And it's when you put the opposing king under attack. You say Shah.
Oh, the Shah of Iran, of course.
Of course, that makes sense.
Of course. It was in there somewhere. See?
Yep. When the king had no way to escape, they would say Shah Mat, or the king is helpless. And Shah Mat might come to. Do you know what you say whenever the king is helpless nowadays?
Checkmate.
Mate.
Shah Mat, checkmate. That's how it eventually evolved there.
Or checkmate. The
Actually, the Russians say shock mate. So you're not far off. Or they did whenever
Oh.
in the 10th century, whenever it made its way to Russia.
Are you a
fuck,
10th century
okay.
Russian, Peter?
No.
Peter
I
the
mean
Great,
Eastern
huh?
Orthodox a little bit, but no.
Rumpeter Stiltskin.
Chess obviously still huge in Russia. They teach chess in school since 2017, and they've been teaching chess in Russia since the 10th century. Very, very big in Russia. By the 1100s, the nobles would equate chess with morality in Europe. A good knight should understand chess. So
Okay.
I included a painting from that era of folks playing chess with like an angel in the background and then two guys just fumbling over the chessboard there.
One
I
guy's
love this
looking
medieval
pretty
depiction
devilish.
of a bad guy. Yeah.
That's an evil guy, man. He's like wearing all red, got a black hat on, and he's just like scowling up at the little waif he's playing on the other
But
side
this
of
is
the
also
board.
like the medieval depiction of straight up Dr. Robotnik's mustache, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Mhm.
flares out on either
The
side.
twirl, the twirl
Yeah.
into the flare. He's also smoking the other guy. He's smoking the little waif here.
Yeah.
He's losing the little guy's losing the fight for his soul. It feels
Yeah, a
like.
lot of the good that fucking Angel's doing, honestly. She's kind of just sitting there.
Yeah. So we're going to fast forward through a lot of time. We're going to skip from the 1100s all the way to the 1970s and 80s. There's some stuff that happens in the middle there. In the 1800s, there's a French dude who writes the first chess theory book. In the late 1800s or early 1900s, this guy in England writes a paper on the origins of chess that is still the de facto like where you go to learn about the origins of chess and where the first half of this episode pretty much came from. But we're going to get into what you might know from today. There's two really big names, one being an American and one being a Russian in the 70s and 80s. Are you able to guess? You already mentioned one of them from Russia.
Is Bobby Fischer the other one, or
Yes.
is he come later? No,
Yeah.
it's Bobby Fischer. Okay.
Bobby Fischer has his peak dominance in the 70s, in 1970 to 1972. And then Gary Kasparov comes in the 80s to go on a 20-year reign as the world's number one player. People still think there's arguments between him and Magnus
Him and
Carlsen.
Magnus, yeah.
But Kasparov had a 20-year reign in chess, and so many of the things he did still define strategy today. So it's like a lot of things, like you're built on
Is
the
he younger? Is like how old is Magnus Carlsen? Is he the guy who kind of looks like Matt Damon that you showed us?
Yeah, I mean he doesn't exist yet, but he will be. He'll be dominant like today, like now, like look outside.
No, more like did Magnus Carlsen learn from Gary Kasparov? Is my thing.
He
Yeah,
had
for sure.
He learned a ton from him. He even had the option for Gary Kasparov to be his personal mentor and coach. But Magnus Carlsen declined after the first meeting because Gary Kasparov wanted him to just study all his mistakes and go really hard into a certain type of studying that just didn't vibe with Magnus Carlsen. He's like, I would have loved to pick his brain. That would have been amazing to pick the number one chess player for 20 years brain, but I don't want to study the way he wants me to study. And it's working out for Magnus. He's still number one and has been for a long time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Cool.
So Bobby Fischer, he came first before Gary Kasparov in the 1970 to 1972, just child superstar. He became a grandmaster at 15 and was number one for 3 years or 2 years straight. And his rating gap was 125 points over the world number two, which is like
Are you
a lot.
going to talk about Elo at all, or
We can
can we
mention
briefly
actually.
touch on it?
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you want to.
Yeah, so how ratings in chess works is essentially like everyone starts at 1500 Elo. I don't remember why Elo I think is named after somebody, or maybe it's an acronym. I don't remember which, but you start at 1500 Elo. If you win a game, you gain points. If you lose a game, you lose points, and you gain slightly more points for playing people who are like much higher Elo than you, and you gain much less points if you're playing people who are much lower Elo than you, right? And then basically that like usually caps out around like 2800 to like I don't know if many people have ever hit 3000 Elo, but probably not many if any have.
I do have the clip. It is named after Arpad Elo, the inventor.
There you go. Yeah.
Alfred, I think.
Arpad Emmerich Elo, Hungarian-American physics professor who created the Elo rating system.
Mhm.
Passed away in
Yeah,
1992. R.I.P.
Yeah, so like knowing how good somebody is like how many points they can get of this Elo system playing against other people. And I don't remember what the threshold for Grandmaster is, but I want to say 2500. And then IM is 2300 or something, but
Uh,
I am being international master.
in classical
I don't remember.
chess, the max that anything that one has hit is 2882.
There you
In
go.
Blitz Online, people have exceeded 3000. The games are much faster. There's a wider pool that you're playing against, so you're not just matched up against the top. But you are also like your ELO. If you are number one, you only have ELO to lose. Like you can gain 1 point by beating someone, but you'll lose like 25 to 50 points by losing. So you just have to win
Oh shit.
back to back to back to, like the top to climb is insane.
Mhm.
You can't make mistakes.
It's like being a samurai. There's always like some guy. If you're number one, like everybody's trying to kill you. But if you're in second place, like only most people are trying to kill you.
Yeah. I did a little bit later down. I didn't spoiler this one because I had a feeling it would come up. But I did post the top 10 chess folks right now, and it shows their
Okay, yeah.
ELO in classical, rapid, and blitz chess, which are just different formats of the game. Yeah. So let me pull up my script again.
And you see that you can see here, Pete, like Magnus is top of all three chess types, like number one
I was,
in all.
I was looking at the scores right now: 2840, 2832, 2869, and then ahead by 30.
Yeah.
Oh damn, way ahead in rapid chess.
Mhm.
Like 90 points.
Because he's
But-
an intuitive player, so he can just
Yeah.
look at the board, and other folks who are very good at the game but really need to calculate and look at every piece and analyze, he just has that intuition. He's able to just do it, and that's why he's so good. Especially in the late game,
Hey.
he just crushes people.
Yeah, you watch Magnus play, and again, knowing nothing about chess, but if I feel like every time I watch him play, he is like so willing to like he'll throw away his queen, he'll just throw away materials because he's like, I know we're gonna get to an end game, and I'm just gonna be able to beat you before you can beat me, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, another great player who's number 2 on that list is Hikaru Nakamura. He was really big in the chess boom. I included a picture next to Magnus.
He's not even a chess
Oh,
player.
yeah,
he's
okay,
a,
cool.
he's a streamer.
Now he's a streamer. He makes more
Wow.
money streaming than he does playing chess, but he's still number
by
2 in
far.
the world, and he's one of the best blitz players.
Blitz is he beats Magnus pretty
Yeah.
often in Blitz,
Yeah.
and all the top players.
Yeah, he's pretty insane, and he streams and stuff too. He's very funny. Like you'll see clips of him at chess tournaments, and he'll look at a board for a split second, and then just have like a cringe on his face. He's like, "Oh, why are they playing that way? Or how did they end up there?" Because he just knows at a glance like the position of both players from both their perspectives and everything. It's insane. The brain power. Yeah.
If you want to see an entertaining clip, Pete, watching Hikaru play Blitz and just like preloading moves. So when you play online, you can like you can say like my queen's gonna go here and then here and then here and then here. So like because you have so little time in Blitz, I think Blitz is a minute. You have like a minute on your like clock, basically to
Okay.
like play the game. And it's like I think the first second or the first 2 seconds don't count your timer down or whatever. So you have to move like if you move within a second, you don't lose time. But
Yeah.
Okay.
Blitz
'Cause you
is all
can-
about playing like as fast as possible.
If you run out of time, that's a lose condition. Like you have to.
If
yeah.
your clock
Oh, you have a minute total for all your moves.
Yeah,
Your
exactly.
moves. I have a minute. You have a minute, and if
Yeah.
I press the button, now your clock's ticking.
your time starts.
Oh, okay,
Just-
you're on
yeah.
deck immediately.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
fuck,
saw
okay.
it's
Holy
like
shit.
if you see a chess clock, it's essentially like a thing like a switch like this. So when I push down mine, yours goes up.
Yeah.
So it's like it's one
Okay.
button.
Okay.
But he'll like preload his moves. So he'll just like and he like talks his way through it. It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
But he'll do like 15 moves in advance and he'll just like put all his things. So then as soon as the opponent moves their piece, like the computer like automatically moves his. He like preloaded his moves or whatever. And like watching him go like 15 moves ahead, you're like, this is crazy. And he's like planning checkmates or whatever. You're just like,
Yeah.
it's
Holy
wild to watch.
fuck.
He's
Okay.
insane. Yeah, he could be like one of the best blitz players. Magnus beats everyone, but like if Magnus wasn't around, Hikaru's just like so insane in blitz. That's where he really shines.
He's a very good chess player, and it
Yeah.
is like a little heartbreaking to see him like talk about Magnus sometimes, where he's just like, yeah, it just sucks to be not like number 2 when that guy's number 1. You know what I mean? Like he's
Yeah.
just like there's no working harder for me. Like he's just always going to be better than me. But he's like obviously such an incredible chess player because he's number 2 in the world in so many ways. But
Yeah. To jump back a couple years here, back in the 80s, Gary Kasparov, like I said, he was 20 years. he was the world first player to break the 2800 ELO barrier. And he built so much stuff up. There's some conversations who would win, Bobby Fischer or Gary Kasparov, but Bobby Fischer was world famous and amazing for 2 years, like in the middle of like the Cold War, is beating Russia, and then withdrew from a tournament and just fucked off, like left the United States and never came back for fear of like legal coming after him from the US. So he lived in Japan, the Philippines, Switzerland, and then settled in Iceland, and then died in his 60s to kidney failure. Or that's what they say. Some people theorize that he's still online because sometimes someone on chess.com will come and just be dominant and play just like Bobby Fischer. And people are like, he's still alive and playing on chess.com.
How old would he be at this point?
Pretty old.
Too old.
Yeah, like a
That's not
105-year-old Icelandic man still coming in to just like
Yeah.
waste people in chess.
Yeah.
Well, that
somebody's using stockfish.
Yeah. That did happen where someone went onto chess.com and they thought it was someone cheating, but it just turned out to be the number one in the world, Magnus Carlsen's account that he made for when he's playing drunk. He didn't want to affect his real ELOs, so he had a drunk account and was just destroying everyone. And it's like a meme in the community that like the only person who could beat Magnus Carlsen is drunk Magnus Carlsen.
Drunk Magnus.
Yeah.
Having a drunk burner chess account as the number one in the world is a Chad move. That is so fucking cool. That rules.
Yeah. So not as highly rated, but some famous names all the same. I included the
Famous Namus?
yeah. I included them. Gotham Chess Levy is someone is someone that I put a picture of there, and the Botez sisters, they were really big on Twitch. Alex and Andrea, I think their names are. Andrea, yeah, they're really big and were good for the game. The game had a lot of people joining it in 2020 and 2022. I even remember seeing the Botez sisters on like some of my WoW streamers like streams during those times. There was like a lot of crossover into different
I
spheres.
now that you mention it, I feel like I saw there was like some event where it was like a bunch of Pokemon streamers paired up with like Wolfie VGC.
Yeah.
Was paired up with I think one of the Botez sisters, or maybe one of the
really?
some other streamer, yeah, for like a chess tournament where they did like it was like a chess.com tournament where it's like you have a coach who's like a pro chess player or like a very good chess player pairs with just like a streamer
cool.
who does a different game, and they try and coach them through this tournament basically.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool format. Yeah.
On a side note, I love Wolfie VGC. Wolf Glick is great.
Yeah.
Me too.
Those both like Gotham Chess and Botez sisters, they're not as good as Magnus or Hikaru, but they would smoke any of us like so bad. So bad. They're very, very, very good chess players. Yeah.
We've already established I can sometimes beat a monkey, but a 4-year-old smokes me. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, exactly. I have
no doubt
never
about
won
these people.
a chess game ever. Windows Vista beats me. The worst the worst operating system.
Yeah. I'm awful at the game too. So actually, that's been kind of the history and some of the main players, the bigger names. You could get into a ton more. There's like some really cool games out there, like the Immortal game, which was a game in like the 1850s where a dude just sacrificed his queen, and then I think he sacrificed like 2 bishops after that just to get the win, which is like completely unheard of in human games. And there's a ton of cool moments like that. But I want to get more into chess computers and kind of their effects on chess and what that is that in the game, and then some juicy and buzzy cheating scandals. If you're on YouTube watching, you might have noticed that all of us went and got a cozy blanket over the break.
We went cozy style. I have a secret for you guys. I had this cozy blanket the whole time. I just had the willpower to not pull it up to my chin. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm kind of incredible like that. Yeah.
Mine was folded up. My cat was sleeping on it, but now she stood up and went to drink water out of the bathtub, so it's mine now, bitch.
Ha, idiot. What a dumbass. Lost her blankie. Lost her blankie.
Yep. So yeah, Pete
fucking cat for on this thing.
Pete is like smarter than his cat for blankets, but computers are a lot smarter than us for chess. I'll say that.
I don't think a robot arm could steal a blanket from my cat quite as good as I can, James. Okay, I don't
Not
fucking
yet.
think so. That's true.
If you're walking down the street and you see one of those delivery robots stealing a blanket from a cat, it's your moral obligation to kick it over.
I've never seen one of those robots, thankfully.
I
No,
saw
I don't
them.
think they figured out snow yet. So I don't think
Yeah.
they're as popular in Canada.
You have to put treads on it, which would be cool, arguably.
When I was in LA, I saw a bunch of them, and they all had names on them too. And I saw recently a video of one just getting smoked by a train. It got stuck on the train tracks.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
America needs more trains, man.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into it. Computers and chess. Let's set the scene in 1980. Edward Fredkin, a computer science professor at Carnegie Mellon University, offered prizes for chess engines to break barriers in the chess world. So $10,000 to whoever can get a chess engine to grandmaster level, and $100,000 if you can beat the number one human in chess.
Okay. Big
So-
bounty.
I've included a picture of the chess champion 2150L, and this is a personal machine that you could buy to play chess against. And it's a little,
That's cool.
a little machine at home with like magnets that you can play against the machine, and it'll beat the average player. Like it'll beat Ethan or Peter or me, but it couldn't
In that
compete.
order.
The monkey would beat me. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it couldn't compete with a real chess player. But Ethan already knows the machine that beat a world champion for the first time, right?
Deep Blue, right?
Deep Blue in 1997.
Mhm.
So it was a brute force machine. They realized that, like, with chess machines, the best. It seems like with all machines, because it's the same thing with AI and large language models. They're realizing that they call it the bitter problem, is that human intervention for like strategizing how a computer is thinking is not as good as just make bigger computer and brute force it.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, exactly. Let the computer figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what Deep Blue did in 1997. It could examine 500 million nodes per second in the 90s, which is pretty.
Honestly, quick aside here. I wanted to do an inflation calculator on the bounty, the 100 Gs. So I did $100,000 in 1980. Is $357,000 USD in today's money. And I also searched just like the bounty on Saddam Hussein. I was like, please, would this be so funny if the bounty to beat the chess arm was higher than the bounty they put on Saddam Hussein? But unfortunately, the bounty on him was $25 million. So,
There you go.
oh well.
Let's go get him. That's a good payday.
Yeah.
You boys
We
want to do
should,
that?
you know? Somebody should go out there and get that guy.
Somebody should put a stop to that guy, honestly. And then think about all the oil we could get. I'm liking this
So
more
got like a
and
chess
more.
arm is just like
Yeah.
defiant against.
Yeah.
A chess arm throwing the flare at the top of like one of those oil derricks.
Yeah.
Yeah. A plane is kind of like a queen piece. It can move any direction all the way across the board into any piece, right? Even two big.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I do gotta say the 2150L, the little machine you've given us here, I love there's something about the Radio Shack logo in the corner that just it speaks to me. You know what I mean? It's just so nice to see that old dog
Oh,
back in
yeah.
the fight.
So in 1997, first time Deep Blue beat Gary Kasparov. I'm pretty sure Gary Kasparov could still beat that Deep Blue in certain ways by playing or at least draw, because he made a blunder. And this is what most computers do, is they just play so well that if you make a single blunder, they will capitalize on it. A blunder being a mistake, right? Like making a particularly bad move.
Yeah.
In most of your pockets right now, if you have a smartphone, you have a computer that can beat any human on the planet in chess.
Yeah.
Stockfish,
Anytime.
Ethan mentioned it, is the world's strongest chess machine. Stockfish 17.1 has an ELO rating of around 3650. So about 1,000 more than the number one player.
Yeah.
It could just beat
Jesus.
everyone. I watched Hikaru do. Last night I was just getting ready for this episode, and I pulled up Hikaru's YouTube channel. He plays against Stockfish all 8 levels. So kind of like what Ethan was saying. You play against level 0, and there's not much happens. You play against level 1, they start to challenge you a bit, all the way up till 8, where no human can beat level 8. Or maybe you can, but one time in 1,000, right? Like it.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Yeah.
It's like you say, like, because the only way you beat it is, I mean, I guess if you play white and you play perfectly, but like nobody can play perfectly for that many, or that many turns in a row. Like once you get like 50 turns deep, it's just impossible, right? So
When you
get
ask
1,000 4-year-old girls at 1,000 chessboards. working around the clock.
for 1,000 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you ask the top level players, like I was watching last week, interviews with the number 1 and the number 2 chess player in the world, and what they thought if chess would ever be fully solved, like 100% solved, like every move just has a response, right? Because the first, I don't know, 10 to 20 moves can be solved, and a lot, like the first 10 for humans are mostly solved. The first 20 for computers definitely are solved, but from beginning to end, every possible thing, both of them believed that if you had a perfect computer on either side, solved chess is likely always a draw. Is white moves first, has the advantage, black makes the perfect like defensive play towards it, and it's that from beginning all the way to the end. And even in tournaments, a lot of the games are draws. Like, it's rare for 2 very good players to get a win off each other. They often end in draws.
Do they just give up? Like, how do you tie chess?
It's like when you can
There's
lose.
stalemate.
It's just like checkmate, or like check, move, check, move, back and forth.
Because kings can only move 1 square at a time,
Yeah.
and you can't move a king into check. So if you only have kings left, then it's an automatic stalemate, right? Because they can't move into each other's threat zone. They'd have to move 2 to get there, and you can't move your
suicide,
king.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
you'd
you
move over
move-
and you
yeah.
get taken. So, and it's not just 2 kings is the only stalemate. There's a lot of stalemates. Basically, if a player has no legal move, so if you have like, if they're in the corner square, and you move your queen to like attack all the squares around it, or move your pieces to attack all the squares around it, but it's not in checkmate, that's a stalemate.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
like a strategy for a lot of like high level chess is, if you're in a losing position, you play for stalemate, like, because you don't, it's a draw at that point, right? So
Yeah.
you want to just like play to force your opponent to put you into stalemate, basically.
Yeah.
No shot mate.
Yeah, exactly. There's like a lot of like ways that you can kind of just get stuck in a forced loop too, where it's like, I could put you in check, you defend, then I move back, you're in check, you defend. It's like, okay, we could do this for 2,000 moves in a row, or we can just shake hands and move on to the next one, right? So yeah, that's the thing. I watched Hikaru play, and he was able to beat them convincingly up until level 5. Level 6, he had to almost force a draw, but then saw an advantage and took it, and was able to beat level 6. Level 7, he lost his first 2 games, but then managed to force a draw against level 7. And then level 8, he just couldn't. Nobody could beat it, like level 8 at Stockfish. So, yeah. So
on solving chess, I did look it up. There's 10 to the 120 moves, which is like like way more than the number
So
of
much
atoms in
fucking
the universe.
rice, Ethan.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I think the number of atoms in the universe is in the area of like 10 to the 86. So it's like, it is like drastically more.
Yeah.
It's 40 orders of magnitude more moves in chess than
holy
there are
fuck.
atoms. Yeah,
magnitude.
magnitude.
Yeah.
Carlson.
So yeah, it's just insane. But there is a very old chess machine, and I provided a picture that was able to beat top players as far back as 1770. But this would
the Turk, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I know
yes.
this
Yes,
one.
it's like the clockwork machine thing, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
But this leads us
Sorta.
into our next section, cheating scandals, because it was all a
was
sham.
They
They
had
would
a little grandmaster in there who would move to pieces, right?
they literally would open one door that would show like you could see in and there's nothing there, and then they would close the door, and you would realize that there was just a side where they could fit a grandmaster in, and there's a tiny candle and a tiny little like chessboard that he would keep track of all the moves. So there's just a man in a box, and they would wheel this guy around in 1770 and beat folks. So.
Like speaking earlier, Pete, to your point about like the Silk Road and like just meeting these like travelers from abroad who would bring you this game, and like how magical that would be. Like, imagine living in a time where like your job could be like guy who's good at chess who fits in small box, right? Like, it's also just like crazy.
Yeah.
That job just doesn't exist anymore, like the spectacle of those kind of road shows is just gone.
Yeah.
Automation. Honestly, bring back the scam sideshow. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Shut down the fucking data centers. The guy in the box needs less water, right?
Yeah.
Still some, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
oh fuck, could you imagine
Dissolve
forgetting about
Uber. We don't need Uber anymore, as we learned on tomorrow's bonus episode.
that? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Net ill for the world.
Could you imagine having just like a chatty chess master in the bottom of your robotic Turk machine? You're just like, "Kid, shut the fuck up, man. Just beat him."
Yeah. Our cheating scandals are our person who comes in a box now is the box you hold in your hand on your TikTok algorithm.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
it's someone who
Yeah.
tells you that if you clench your butthole and expose it to the sun, you'll have more testosterone or whatever.
That's it. Yeah.
Uh,
Actually, low T is worse than cancer. Actually, so,
yeah.
buy
you-
my supplements.
Yeah.
and
Get nude
butthole
with your boys and
tanner.
sun your butt.
Yep. So yeah, chess cheating goes back a long way, but
You think he was buck naked in there, the Grand Master? You think he was sunning his
Hope so.
butt in the chess table?
to this one
That's where
candle.
the candle was. Yeah.
You
Holding it
gotta
between his
candle your
cheeks.
buttholes, bros. Boost your tea.
So cheating online now is very rampant because you can play on chess.com and there's not a ton of checks and balances. There's a few. There's some indicators for cheaters online. So let's say you see an account brand new, 48 hours on chess.com. Red flag.
Email, just numbers. Red flag.
Yeah. They're moving quickly. Like their time to think is always 3 seconds, no matter if it's a easy move or if it's a tough move, because they're just looking at an engine on their second screen, right? And inputting the moves. A win rate of like 75% higher is very suspect. Usually 45% to 55%. Gotham Chess, who's like really big in the space, can get up to 60%, but that's someone who's good at the game, right?
Right, yeah.
Sacrificing pieces to make astounding plays is usually a sign of non-human play. Like that happened in the 1850s and people still talk about it. That doesn't happen often like now. Like you don't throw your queen away for something that's 12 moves down the line because people don't
Right.
see that. They have emotions. That's usually like it's not a safe way to play. So folks don't often do it unless you're a computer.
Or reading off a computer.
Yeah. There's something called an accuracy score too. So if you go on your profile, you can see how many percent of the time would you do the same move as a computer would do. So a normal person might have only like 60% or something, right? We're not computers. But if someone has like a 95% accuracy score, it's like very, very, very suspect. Like nobody plays like that. Yeah. So
If
you
you want to
can't
do it traditional style, you would keep your second screen under your desk and check your moves, cheat that way, right?
Yeah.
Like by candlelight.
There's been people who get their winnings taken away because like you see how I'm looking at my script and I'm looking at you, like people doing that between every move because they're just checking an engine on their second
That's
screen.
sus. That's a fucking sus as hell, dude. Just like wear glasses like a poker player or fucking.
Yeah.
Or put on
I mean,
the
it's
same
it's a problem. Like cheating generally, especially in like during COVID, right? Like a lot of formats would go to online, like a lot of tournaments go online instead of in person all of a sudden for a lot of different things. And I think of like CS2, right, is like has such a problem, especially like top tier CS2 has some problems with cheaters in play, but then there's like the second tier teams, right, like the farm league essentially, and cheating is just like rampant, right? Because people are just like they're not making like real money off this. They don't have like there's not real stakes being caught, and like they only ever play online on their PC, right, from home.
Yeah.
And it's like it's so hard to please, that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
I will say though, cheating in chess sounds like the most like if you're a cheater, grow the fuck up. Like you're like what a loser thing to do, man, to just be like, I'm gonna get the highest score out of everybody, but I'm only gonna do it by reading this thing is like incredibly pathetic. But like in chess especially, like at least in Counter-Strike, I feel like there's a bit of power fantasy where you do have to like Counter-Strike, like a common way to cheat is like wall hacks, right? So you can see
Yeah.
people like behind walls and you can shoot them through walls, you shoot them through smoke, but you still have to have like a bit of movement and there's like a team environment to it, you're helping your team out and everything. Like there's something to it where it's like I cannot imagine just like sitting at home alone grinding the chess.com ladder board with or leaderboard with an engine up on the other. Like what are you doing with your life, man? Like, come on.
Some people, like if you think of League of Legends, right, like when you're stuck in ELO hell, like you're not able to play properly because your opponents aren't playing properly, your team's not playing properly.
It's your team, though.
If only I was matched against people who are as great as me, then they would be playing on the meta and I would be playing with them instead of against some
that's
guy who
fair.
just builds full armor against my physical whatever. I don't know League of
That's
Legends
fair.
well enough, but
That's a good point, though. I
Yeah.
guess they're just like, I guess playing against opponents who play badly or play off meta, like you say, or just playing their own game can be like not difficult if you're actually good at the game. But I
Yeah.
guess that's like a coping technique, right? If you're
Yeah.
Hans Niemann, we'll get into later, did cheat when he was 12 and 16. Not in paid tournaments, not over the board, but just online. And his reasoning was, I wanted to be matched against better people to learn more. And which you can kind of see it, but at the same time, if you're that good, dude, just grind your way up.
Yeah. Or go play Stockfish if you want to play better people. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, go play level 6 Stockfish and then level 7 Stockfish.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
So one of the like you said, in the lower leagues, cheating is rampant. Online chess.com, cheating can be rampant. But once you get up to these invitationals, there's not as much cheating on the over the board chess, but there still is some. So in 2015, we have our first scandal where Gayaz Nigalidze, I don't know how to pronounce that name. I will put that into
Out in one, as far as I'm concerned.
into the chat for you guys. That was a hard one. You want to take a stab at it?
No,
Gayaz
I'm good.
Nigalidze?
Maybe Gaiaz.
Gayaz Nigalidze?
And yeah.
Come good night.
He's from Georgia. He's a Georgian chess grandmaster. He hit his
the good old Southern boy learning how to play chess.
Different Georgia. I love the effort.
I do declare, Giles, would you get me a lemonade off the porch?
Yes. Pick me one of them peaches off that tree there. There's a little radio in the peach that's like, it's got a little screen displaying the best moves to make.
Yeah, so he thought he could cheat, and what he did is he hid his phone in the bathroom under the toilet paper.
Okay.
So every time it was his turn, he had a tough position. He'd be like, bathroom, real quick.
I'm so nervous. I need to poop.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I ate a whole basket of peaches this morning.
Oh,
I
yeah,
do
of
hope
course.
you understand.
Wow, the fiber and the water has made me rather incontinent. I must go off and check.
Yeah,
Fanning himself, obviously, with the big ass leaf, like making moves.
His opponent, Tigran L. Petrosian, actually went to the bathroom because he suspected him and found the phone under the toilet paper, like badly hidden. Speaking of which, the guy who accused him of cheating and caught him would get caught cheating in an online tournament later, Tigran. So
Game recognizes game, obviously.
Yeah.
That's classic, man. In my algorithm recently, I've been getting it's a YouTube channel called Hungry on Plane. And MTG Goldfish does this too, but it's like Magic, like, top cheaters in like Magic history, and like in the mid aughts and like late 90s.
I watched that video too, dude. Yeah.
So rampant.
Yeah.
Cheating, and like the two biggest guys in Magic were also like the two, like they were in like the first like ESPN commercial for like Magic or whatever. They were like two personalities in the scene, and they were just like big cheaters too.
Yeah.
Would just like constantly
often like shuffle and like not shuffle the top of their deck. So basically have their opening hand set and like make a big show of shuffling, but they're always have their opening hand. Yeah.
The one guy, I think his name was Mike Ward. He there's one where he's on his chair. He's like playing the game like this. He's like crouched up like this. And then he had like the card, just like the key card for his combo, just like tucked on his lap, basically.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
People try anything other than just get better. It's crazy. It's so
Yeah.
it's so creative. It's like more effort to just cheat sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, at least for that, it's for money, I guess. But it's like clearly not for money either. It's clearly just there's a human need to win, I guess, and I'm not a super competitive guy. I want to play my video game, which is like I just build a space factory by myself. You know,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
don't got that dog in me. That's it.
No.
I think a
But-
lot of it comes especially with these solo games where these personalities feel like they are the best and that the game is limiting them. Like, oh, it's the matchmaking that's fucking me up. If only I was playing against the best people, I would learn from them and I would go up very fast. Or
Yeah.
I'm really good at Magic. I could beat all these other people, but I just can't get my 4 lands or my 3 lands at the beginning or whatever it is. So it's like
ego.
it is ego, I think, a lot of the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is another one that happened in 2010, which was very elaborate. So Sebastian Feller he became a grandmaster just 17.
Great name.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Feller? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. He took the fall for this one because he had another grandmaster at home who, well, most of these chess boards for a long time have magnets in the pieces and magnets in the board, just to be able to televise the game. When you make a move, it goes onto the TV, and it moves in the same way, right? So it's just
like in the people watching too, right? Like if you're at like I'm not gonna say stadium because I don't think they sell at stadiums yet, but you know, you're in like a basketball like a gym or whatever, right? And you want to be able to see it, they can like put it up on the screen.
Yeah.
It's like automatic. And
So
also for judges and stuff, I guess they can track the moves.
Exactly. All to say is just so it's all recorded and it gets televised or sent home. So he had another grandmaster on the computer at home watching all the plays and feeding it into the engine. So he's able to see when there was a critical time, when which moves he had to make. So then the guy at home would text a series of numbers to a third guy, a middleman. And there would be 2 numbers at the beginning and the end that meant nothing. And then there was 2 numbers in the beginning that would say this piece goes to this square. And it was a code that they completely made up. And then the middleman from receiving this text would stand in a certain place in the tournament tunnel to like where the locker rooms are. And depending on where the guy was standing, it meant to move a different piece to a different place.
Look, I take back what I said about cheating. Like that's base. Like cheat like a man. You know what I mean? Come up with a code and like a cipher and like you got a guy
Ripping off a
doing,
casino is easier than this, for fuck's sake.
yeah, exactly.
So
That's not bad.
there was over 200 suspicious text messages. The only reason that they got caught was the man at home was living with another chess official who like walked in while it was happening and saw everything.
Get out of my room! Get out of my room!
Yeah. He had minimized his decoy porn by accident. Just had just had a chess robot on the screen. He's like, oh no. That's so funny.
Yeah.
I can't believe like you would make sure that your chess official roommate is like out for the day, right?
No, she was home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bar the
Well, like
door.
lock your fucking door, man. Like,
Yeah. Invest in a little triangle of wood that you can put under the door. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, the
Gotta
decoy
text
porn.
a code to a guy to stand in your hallway when your roommate's coming to put your wooden wedge under the door. Obviously.
He's got Pornhub open. Queen annihilated by knight on D4. Yeah.
Yeah. Help me, step bishop. I'm stuck in the dryer.
Yeah. Yeah, so Feller denied cheating, but they found all the text messages. They took away his grandmaster title. He got banned from competition for 3 years. And a French court in 2019 sentenced him to 6 months in prison for the incident. Yeah.
Was he a French guy?
Sebastian Feller, I guess so, yeah. I'm not sure.
Sebastien.
Sebastian, yeah. Can you imagine being extradited to France for chess crimes?
Who
And
was
like, just like, what's their prison that they had
I don't know.
I
during
don't
the
know.
revolution?
Alcatraz? Oh, the Bastille.
No, that's it. The Bastille. Thank you. Yeah, just like getting thrown in the Bastille for cheating at chess.
So this leads us up to our final chess incident, the one that Ethan's aware of. And if you've caught in any chess drama in the last few years, this was
Probably
the big
is.
one.
This was the one.
In September 2022, Magnus Carlsen, #1 in the world, coming off an incredible 53 win streak in classical chess. He's just
Hell yeah.
king of the game. Hans Niemann, I provided a picture of messy-haired boy at near the end there. He's the lowest rated chess player at the tournament, only 19 years old. He's an American. He's arrogant as hell. He's known online
Has been
for
caught cheating twice at this point.
yes.
Okay.
Magnus Carlsen rated 2861 and Hans Niemann 2688. So he's a good almost 200 points above him, Magnus.
Okay.
Hans
Niemann,
has
17. Everybody was very suspicious when he beat Magnus Carlsen.
yeah. Well, he's 19 right now.
No, double digit ELO rating, just like nothing, like me.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I was not assuming you're like, oh, Magnus Carlsen is 2,800 years old. Fascinating, Jamie.
It's just confusing because
Would
I just
explain
said
why
he
he's
was
so good.
19. Yeah.
Sorry.
But Hans Niemann, he not only beats Magnus Carlsen in their first of 4 games, he dominates him. In the end game, he's making moves and making Magnus score. Magnus is trying all his tricks, trying to throw Hans Niemann off the script, because that's when Magnus really shines. He's like, throw them off the script. I'm just a better player. But Hans Niemann annihilates him. And after the game, when asked for a post-game interview, Hans Niemann, this little shit-eating kid, is just like, the chess speaks for itself. Like, I don't have to say anything. Goes on to lose the next 3 games to Magnus, by the way, but still, it's just it's so proud of this one game, right? Magnus suspects Hans of cheating. He posts a clip on Twitter of Jose Morinho saying, you've probably seen this clip where the guy says,
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble. And I don't want to be in big trouble.
Okay.
So Magnus is like, I don't want to say anything, but then immediately pulls out of the tournament, which costs him rating, costs him a lot, right? It's a big deal for him to pull out.
Money, sponsorships, drama.
Yeah. And
They're going to be better for him probably because it boosted chess so much, this scandal.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, cool.
And the very next day, there's increased security too. So there's something up. Like Magnus almost for sure said he was cheating. And this leads up to Ethan's buzzing content because drama starts stirring online. They're like, how did he cheat in this place? And then Elon Musk reposts a meme of Hans Niemann using an anal vibrator to cheat during the game. Which that was the big meme.
Oh, I did hear about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
That's why I said there was quite a buzz around this.
I had imagined a different thing because I've seen the movie Casino where they had like a little Morse code thing in the guy's pants to help him cheat and like somebody who could see the cards of the opponent. So I was thinking of like an electrical setup, which I suppose a vibrator is an electrical setup, but
it was a meme, and maybe you have the original source for it, James, but I think it's like it is like a guy who's like good at chess who is like analyzing it and talking about it, and he said it as like it's kind of like Schrodinger's like box is always like misappropriated as like, oh, that's what quantum physics is, but Schrodinger was just trying to say like, no, it's just really silly when you think about it. And this guy was just saying like, he used like an anal bead or something, and then a bunch of people took it way too seriously.
Okay.
And then Elon Musk signal boosted it on Twitter, and the rest was history. And all like just for like clarity, like it doesn't take much to cheat in chess, especially if you are good enough. If you're already a 2600 player, like all you need to know, I included a picture. The engine, whenever there's a critical move or a genius move that was just made, it gives you 2 exclamation points. So just to know that a move like that exists, like one buzz of the butt would all it take to be like, okay, I got to take a second look at this position, right? So that's all it would take. Obviously, you could do other things too, like buzz a certain amount of times for a certain piece, and then a certain amount of times for to play that piece. It could be someone in the audience just literally touching their nose at a critical time is all it would truly take.
And they've got the vibrating butt plug, right? They've got you could be the bad kitten cheating, or you could have a bad kitten patsy in the audience just in your line of sight, right?
Yeah, we didn't talk about the Bobby Fischer era too much, but it was like a big thing in the Cold War that like who is better at chess? Is it the USSR or is it the Americans, right? So like there's a lot of like I don't know how much of it is confirmed, but there's a lot of like movies and media where it's like, the CIA is getting involved in cheating in chess tournaments because they want to catch the KGB cheating so that their guy can win, and then they also want to make sure that their guy wins because it's like super important up for the global stage and
And
the big
there's
six swinging competition, right?
like some of the Soviets would sacrifice their own victories just to ensure Bobby Fischer would not get a victory. Like there was one point where he had 4 Soviets he was up against in a row, and all of them just forced a draw. Like had times when they could play for the win, but just played for a draw, so Bobby Fischer couldn't get a single win. And they would conspire just to bring it home to Russia and not to
Right.
the States.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, but with cheating, I remember Magnus, and maybe it was in response to like this scandal too, but Magnus like went on the record to say like, yeah, like if I decided to cheat, like no one would ever catch me. Like it's just knowing when to use the right move at the right time. Like you don't use it for every move. You just do like one move here, one move there. Like just
Mhm.
being able to check the engine is like nobody would ever catch me cheating if I decided to cheat.
Yep.
Because he's very critical of the lack of stringent care, I guess, and cheating in the game, in the sport.
Yeah.
Is chess an e-sport?
At this point, it
They
probably is.
broadcast it.
Yeah, it's often played
Well,
online.
no, the E is because the game itself is fake. The players are real, but the athletes are fake.
I'd
That's what
say
makes
That's
it
not a
e-sport, right?
sport.
the
Chess
maj-
isn't a sport. Oh,
the
It's a
majority
game.
the majority of
Game.
chess is played on a virtual board now, though. So it's
nowadays.
yeah.
But yeah, that's it. Because like to me, chess isn't a sport, right? And League of Legends isn't a sport either, right?
No.
And so that's why chess in my mind can fit in the esport category because it's
Okay, yeah.
it's competition, but I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, Hans gets banned. So Hans gets banned from chess.com. Like I said, he admits when he's 12 and 16. He did it to face high-rated players, but he would never do it in a real scenario. He claimed that he was studying the exact position that morning, and it just happened to play out that way with Magnus. So he was so ready for that end game because he played it that morning, and he knew how to play around what Magnus said. Public opinion was way against Hans Niemann. He's like, "There's stuff up your butt. You
Show us your butt. Open up your butt, you son of a bitch."
yeah. Yeah, you're bad at chess and you like stuff up your butt. To Magnus remained quiet. Still to this day, he hasn't fully come out to say, Hans Niemann, this is evidence of him cheating. He's spoken out that he thinks people are cheating. He's against cheating. There should be more security, but he stayed quiet on Hans Niemann for the most part.
He's kind of classy, right? He's kind of a classier dude.
Well,
Like he does love what he does.
He lost to a younger Indian player recently and smashed the table, and then immediately realized what he did and shook the guy's hand and walked out. He was mad at himself for blundering more than he was mad at.
I don't know if I would describe him as classy. I don't think he's like a classless guy or anything like that. But he's not like particularly like he's not like a paragon of sportsmanship or anything like that. I don't think. You know,
He's
what I mean? Like,
always
he's clearly
late.
passionate about the game. He's always. I think that's part of his strategy, though. I think he knows he doesn't need the time, and so he shows up late to games to like fluster his opponents because he'll just like. You see a lot of clips of him like rocking up. He's like taking his jacket off, like his sports jacket off, you know, and just like throwing it on the chair and sitting down. Like after the guy's been sitting there for like 40 seconds or whatever, you know, just like waiting. I guess my opponent's like.
And his time is ticking. Magnus is ticking by not showing up. And he shows up, and rather than make the play to like conserve his time that he might need later, he like arranges all the pieces on the board, make sure they're all set up nice, and then he makes his first move and calmly presses it. So he's like 2 minutes or 5 minutes down, and he's still confident he's gonna win.
I mean, mind games are still part of the game. I more mean it's just like he suspected this dude of talking shit and then of cheating, and then spent 5 years talking shit after that. So that's kind of like more sportsmanlike than other sports, right?
Hans Niemann sucks, man. He thinks he's the best, and he's rude to everyone. The Botez sisters like don't like him. Pretty much everyone in the chess world, he's burned all his bridges because he's just shitty to everyone.
He's arrogant. Yeah.
So
some people like a heel, but I don't know if it fits in the chess world as well as it would in like the WWE, right?
Yeah.
It's not the same vibe, I guess.
Public opinion's gone back and forth, though, because public opinion's kind of come back on the side of Hans Niemann again. As much as he is arrogant, he's lost like a lot of his public image, and there's never been real proof that he cheated on that one game. He might have he's a great player. He could have had that one great game, right? But like Ethan said, it's been better for chess as a whole because we're still talking about it, chess as a whole, and buzzing about it. But anyways, chess is interesting. I wish I was better at it. Maybe we can pick up some chess streams sometime and say if we can get like above a 1500 rating, because I think I would be at whatever the starting is. Check me out on Lore Boy James on Twitch. Maybe we'll play some chess sometime. Pete, where can I find you?
At Lore Boys Podcast on Instagram, and then my book, The Black Frontier, is available on Amazon, linked below.
Yeah, thanks so much for listening, everyone. If you want to help support the show, consider leaving us a rating or review on your podcast app of choice. Drop a comment if you're watching on YouTube. And if you want to toss us a couple bucks, we do have a Patreon, patreon.com/theloreboys. We just did our 200th bonus episode.
Yes.
Like at least 100 hours of extra content. If you just love the sounds of our voices, you can hear about Jamie's absolutely deranged encounter with an Uber driver this week.
Dude,
it was great.
It was the worst Uber driver I've had in my life. The only one star, I don't even like to give 1 star because I'm like, this must be a hard job. But this guy, if I could give less than 1 star, I would have. Hear about it on the bonus.
And if you don't trust Patreon, we do, of course, have Lore Boys Prime service, which we've always offered. We're going to need you guys to be putting some stuff in those holes this week, okay? So we will be sending a broadband communication to signal the start of the invasion of Lore, Ohio, and everyone does need to have their vibrator safely secured in their butt for when the invasion begins, of course.
You know, like the sound of the orcs like storming Helm's Deep, but instead it's just 100 lore boys just moaning as all their butt plugs start buzzing at the same time.
Just 100,000 Discord kittens meowing as we storm Lore, Ohio.
Now I'm just thinking of that scene in the Two Towers when like Grima is talking to Saruman. He's just like, "But a force like that, you would need 1,000 butt plugs," and Saruman is like, "Tens of thousands." Marches out to Isengard, to all his 10,000 kittens.
It's the siege of Helm's Deep. They've got like the bomb at the base of the wall, and you have the Uruk running up with like the flare, and he's like going to light it, and then he just like drops to his knees in the ditch, like, he can't make it.
Just blows up in front of the
wall. And I think that would constitute a Lore
Boys.
Lore Boys
out
of your butt.
Lore Boys.